you. Well, welcome everyone. Great to meet you all. First VX meeting of the year, so that's wonderful. So my name is Suzanne. I am the owner and founder of SA Weight Loss Hypnosis, otherwise known as the Weight Loss Coach. And I help people, men and women, who have been struggling with weight for decades. They've tried every diet under the sun. They've been losing, gaining the same 5, 10, 20 kilos, and in fact putting on more. So they're coming to me really as the last resort. And so by the time they get to me, their feelings around food and body, their relationship with food and body is pretty poor. And so it's interesting to know that words such as pleasure and pain, good and bad, fear and guilt, desire, cravings, challenge, overwhelm, all of these words really interrelate with food, with body and with life. And our relationship with food is actually going to be the longest relationship that we ever have in our life. And so what this means is that this relationship will define our experience that we have with life. And conversely, the relationship that we have with life, our experience with life, will determine the experience that we have with food. And so it's also another interesting fact, and from a biological standpoint, that as humans we seek pleasure to avoid pain. The pleasure of food to avoid the pain of hunger, the pleasure of food to avoid the pain of unhelpful negative emotions. And so this is where we do the deeper work. When I'm working with people, we quickly discover that food and weight is not their biggest problem, although that is what they come to me for. It's very much from a psychology and a biological perspective. And this is where we do the deeper work to find out, well, what is the root cause of this? Because part of the human body's survival response, it really boils down to that, is to regulate our emotions. And this is exactly what emotional eating is. And so just to explain that, if you have come across, or you've known, most people have, small babies who are just crying incessantly, as soon as you give them the breast or the bottle, within nanoseconds, they are quiet. And so this is part of our DNA. It's built in, it's hardwired into us to seek the pleasure of food, to avoid the pain of hunger, to avoid the pain of emotion. So this is where we do the deeper work, is to locate, well, where is this emotion coming from? How is it affecting people in their life? When we start to regulate this emotion, there is no longer the need or the desire to use food as a coping mechanism. So with the work that we do is very educational. As a eating psychology coach, a mind-body nutrition, we give them mind-body nutrition, the principles of it. We give them the education around how the mind affects the gut, the body, how the body affects the mind, because there's this cycle that goes on, which is feel bad, eat food, feel better, but then we feel bad. If that has been our chosen mechanism to cope with stress. And of course, stress is part of everyday life, and it comes in many forms, not only from life, about how we think about what is going on, the self-attack, the nasty negative self-talk, the worry, all the emotions, anger, sadness, fear, hurt and guilt that we bring into life will all affect our relationship with food and who we are as eaters. And so the deeper work that we do involves working with people from a psychology perspective around their relationship with food, looking at, as I say, the mind, the connection between mind and body. I'm also a neurolinguistics practitioner, which means we get to the root cause, we get to those anger, sadness, fear, hurt and guilt, all the things that wrap up make stress a big part of people's lives. So when we start to balance emotions, there is no longer the need and the drive to seek food to regulate that emotion. And so that's where we do a lot of the work. We don't work with diets, but I'm also a hypnotherapist. And so we start to reprogram the subconscious mind, which is there to preserve and protect the body. and the body has its own internal stress mechanisms, which are triggered off as soon as it detects stress, which is creating, more cortisol and insulin production in the body, which actually tells the body, sends messages to hold on to weight, store fat, and not build muscle, which is all the things that we don't want to have happen if our goal is to lose weight or maintain weight. So over the last couple of years, up to 3 years now, I've been consistently booked out for up to 2 months in advance, and the work that we do is totally transformational, and I say we because I have been so busy that I really don't like having to tell people, yes, I can help you, but you have to wait for 2 months to come and see me. It's not what you want to have happen. You want something, you want it now. So I've actually been training coaches to do the work that I do to get the exactly same results that I have been able to achieve over the last 3 years. So if you are in the health and wellness space and you are looking to up-level the results for your clients, to be known as the go-to, to become a weight loss coach, I would love to hear from you, because that really is the work that I want to do, is to be able to have this ripple effect and reach more and more people, not just the amount of people that I can deal with one-on-one. So there we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Suzanne, the weight loss coach. I think we all agree that was a very informative session. There is a lot more that goes on behind people's health, and Suzanne has been doing it very successfully for a number of years now. So thank you, Suzanne.